Coming up on Mountain News this morning, members of a Kentucky church gather donations in order to help tornado victims in the western part of the state. And students from one Eastern Kentucky school host a donation drive to help with those relief efforts.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good Monday morning to you. It's just before 5 o'clock on this Monday morning. I feel like I was just here. I'm Dakota Makris. Good morning to you. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at that cold forecast. Brandon, when I left the news, when I left the newsroom, when I left the station yesterday or this morning around 12:30ish, my car was frosty, but it wasn't frosty this morning. Makes no sense to me.
Well, you didn't have time to refrost again.
You're right.
You unfrosted
You're
it last
right.
night. Yeah, so yeah, my car was frosty this morning too. So that's going to be a thing you need to watch out for as you head out the door this morning. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on that. But right now, so far, so good. Temperatures out there in the 20s and 30s this morning. 21 is the cool spot in Jonesville, and 31 is the warm spot at Jackson. Actually, 34 in Wise, the warm spot this morning in Jackson. So you'll need a little extra coffee because it's a Monday morning, and because you'll need a little more of that, more than that, because it is cold outside this morning. Just be aware of that out the door forecast. Thankfully, a sunny and beautiful day today. Give our neighbors out to the west time to get cleaned up out there. Going to be right at 60 for a daytime high this afternoon. Dakota.
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. Well, community members in Mayfield continue to pick up the pieces after deadly storms swept through western Kentucky during the weekend, leaving behind a long path of destruction. Parker King explains.
Just a stone's throw away from downtown Mayfield, Kentucky, begins a residential area, or what was a residential area. These are homes that have been demolished, gutted, some stripped to the very foundation. These are but a few representations of a strip of homes in an entire city that was hit by what the National Weather Service is calling an EF3 tornado. At least hundreds here in Mayfield and Graves County are left seeking immediate shelter. Others fortunate enough to find hotels, and relatives in the rest of southwestern Kentucky that was affected by this storm results in thousands without a place to stay, displaced, and tens of thousands without power. There are constant efforts trying to restore this power and bring some sense of normalcy back to a different kind of darkness in this small city. Over the course of the night and early this morning, law enforcement agencies have been going house to house, doing welfare checks, and also patrolling for looters, making sure that there is some sense of order here. We've been speaking for the last 48 hours with residents here, both in Mayfield and outside of Mayfield, volunteers coming in to do their part to help. And what everyone has told us is that throughout the destruction and the chaos, they will rebuild. It may not be the same Mayfield they're familiar with, but it will be their Mayfield, a stronger Mayfield, and one that's able to press on from this historic tragedy. In Mayfield, Kentucky, I'm Parker King.
Well, Senator Rand Paul visited Bowling Green Sunday to assess the damage from the tornado there. Now, the senator, alongside his wife and various Warren County officials, traveled through Bowling Green to the most significantly impacted by the tornado. The senator says he and his wife are praying for those affected. Well, members of Restoration Ministries in Laurel County came together Saturday for those affected by, Sunday for those affected by the tornadoes in western Kentucky. In partnership with Centerpoint Church in Bowling Green, the organization received a variety of donations from the community. They piled everything in a large U-Haul and drove to the church to drop them off. Youth Pastor Austin Brown says they plan to do it all again.
We are going to continue to take trucks loads, volunteer our time, whatever they need. We're going to try to be the hands and feet of Jesus and help them in anything that they would need.
Now, Brown says they are still accepting donations. For more information on what to bring, you can go to their Facebook page. After seeing the destruction in western Kentucky following the tornadoes Friday, several Letcher County students are coming together to help those in need. Letcher County Central's National Honor Society will be hosting a donation drive until this Friday. People are encouraged to bring donated items to the school's front office during school hours.
My goal is just for these kids to see how much their work and dedication to helping people is how far it's going. They wanted to do this, and there was no way I was going to say no. I knew people needed help, so I was like, yes, let's go with this.
Now, the group will be accepting water, non-perishable food, and baby items, among other supplies. We have a list of supplies over on our website. An Eastern Kentucky fire chief has died. City of Manchester Fire Department officials say Big Creek Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department Chief Elmer Sparks died. The Volunteer Fire and Rescue Department sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, "We're heartbroken to loss our fearless leader and family member. He was not only serving his community, he was a friend to all," end quote. Now, the department will hold a candlelight vigil in his honor Tuesday night. Well, police are investigating a traffic death which happened south of London early Sunday morning. 32-year-old Chadwick Smith of War Branch was pronounced dead at the scene after police say he was hit by a truck driving northbound on US 25. Smith was, quote, "in the unlit roadway in the northbound travel lane," a news release said. Roger Roark of London was driving the truck that hit Smith. Police say Roark had no injuries. Well, thank you so much for getting your Monday started with us here on Mountain News this morning. When we come back, NASA prepares to launch a brand new telescope to give us some extra looks at the universe we call home.
Weather has calmed down quite a bit in the last couple of days, and that trend will continue into the first part of this week. We'll have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.